giving opportunities to the community outreach that's happening on Pulsechain, dude. And I did want to like touch up like what's the difference, like what is Pulse, like the tokenomics and stuff. If you know about the burn and what it does every transaction, that's cool. But you also have like fun here. Like there's that energy, like that frequency that you can come into any space. Because I remember back in the Hex days, it was about Hex and about gaining the momentum of Hex, right? And structuring the community behind Hex, and then flowing into Pulse. But now that Pulse Chain is alive, and I know that Richard Hart is like, I think there's a big disconnect of like people not liking Pulse Chain because of Post Richard. And I feel like he does not matter in a sense. Like I love the guy, I love the what he preaches, especially with his self help books. In the beginning, that was I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's like, yeah, you see that he's actually trying to help the world. And he thinks by he say basically, if you have money, you can buy officials, government officials. You can buy lobbyists. You can then change the world, and that's how you actually change the world. You actually have to get into these political statures to pass a law or put in even an idea that you thinking or your community is thinking of that could change the world for the better. And that needs money. It all takes money. So I feel like fix the money, fix the world. That is a good mo that he has. But aside from that, Postchain is alive. He gave us a network, a chain that's ran by validators, 42,000 validators, that is now decentralized. It's ours. We can then build on top of it. We can build DEX. We could build a scan. We could build API keys. We could build all those on top of that. We want to query the blockchain faster. We'll build something faster. We want something secure and private. We build it. We find something and we build it better or more secure. And all those things can happen. I feel like it's happening on Postchain. Now, aside from that, you're also having fun. You also have like the energy that I was talking about. You have the mimetic flow of like people or creators that come out and make memes, that are having fun with PFPs, that are having fun with art, and is being more artist centric. Um, and it's been very great to see how the Tang Gang has been bringing the light or shining the light on these artists, and actually giving way more back to the artists, because OpenSea doesn't give a care about your royalties. They don't care how much percentage you get back. And here it's more appreciative to artists and what they do, and I feel like that is great. Now, it for the users, we're scrolling down our timeline. We got good memes. Like I said earlier, everybody has their niche. Everybody is here doing their thing and putting in their work from different avenues to make this one thing grow and solid. And Tangang and the HOA has been done a phenomenal job with bringing the creativeness out of people, especially during the bear. People are down. People are morally down, and you then now have their energy flowing, getting them hyped just by art, just by things that look cool, and actually giving back. And that in itself gives value to the person that's collecting the art. And I think it's just amazing, and as we have seen so much, and I feel like we are going to see more. And I think we just stay patient, and that's literally what Pulse Chain is to me, and how I see it growing. And I think other people like the Degen side, they might see, oh, there's not a lot of liquidity in these tokens. There's a lot of people complaining on the ETH because they want liquidity. They want big pairs. They want big liquidity so they can exit. That's all there is. But the actual objective of Pulse Chain is delaying your gratification. And a lot of people here, they actually come in and actually provide liquidity actually earn fees, let their money make money. And there's a lot of ETH guys or big ETH whales that do not let people know about liquidity or even letting your money make money. So I think here it's more even playing field. You have the infrastructures that you need for now, and we will get to building more infrastructures. And it's just amazing to see the, like, someone that sacrificed $100 DM'd me the other day and was telling me how he took his bag and he 100x'd it, and it's only been 7 months, and we're in a bear. And people say that there's a lot of gains here, and there's no gains anywhere else. So I'm just trying to figure out, where is it at? So the volume is here. I haven't seen any volume anywhere else. And then when I go into other places or spaces, it seems like there's a lot of just circle jerking. No one wants to hear about the outside world. Everybody's stuck in their box. And the difference that we were talking about, is that Pulse Chain has that opportunity for you to get outside your box, go and explore other things, and figure out what your niche is, and maybe engage and try to build and grow the community together. So that's really all it is.
So I got a couple things to say, but the first thing you said, Richard Hart is in with lobbyists, man.
No, he had stated that if you if he can make enough people rich, right, you basically fix the world by fixing the money, right? So
Yeah.
get as many people rich, and those people can then go to their state representative and go lobby with money, and that's
No,
just
yeah, I get the point. I was just messing with you.
okay.
That's definitely what it takes. I mean, public policy and actually getting in with the people who matter. So no, I get what you're saying. I was just messing with you. But I think, I mean, the thing is with Twitter, and you don't even really realize it, is it's so friggin' big, and there's so many different parts of it, like Pulse, Hex, Twitter. You guys' algorithm is probably all Pulse and X. I never really see that much of it. The biggest names on Twitter don't really talk about it. That's obviously something that the community and the community outreach and stuff like that. You said, those folks over there, and they also mess around on Soul. That's how I know them. All it really takes is kind of some organized marketing tactics. Getting it in front of the right people too. I know Richard and Hex is huge on YouTube, from what I understand.
Dude, they
Um,
know about us. They know about us. They're just not wanting to talk about us yet because they wanted to pump first, and then they're going to then be like, "Oh, look at this, look at that," and that's the thing about Post Chain. I feel like we don't need them. We never did, and we still have the volume. So I feel like it's breeding new influencers or breeding new educators.
what's
Yeah,
the
and that,
price?
that's another thing though. Hold on, like there's been so much like gatekeeping when it comes to Richard Hart. Like back when he first created Hex, like he was gatekept by all of like the crypto news sources. Like market cap wouldn't represent the Hex coin properly, and I think today they still don't show the correct market cap. So there's been a lot of like, because Richard Hart grew up, like mining Bitcoin and shit. Like he was one of the main like top Bitcoin holders. Like all the other big influencers that we know that are like crypto representatives on Twitter and other spaces, and these people don't like Richard Hart because people thought he was a scammer when he made Hex, and he got a bad name because certain people just didn't want to follow what he was doing. And then they're doing their own things, obviously creating their own tokens and scamming other people, right? And so it's just been a big mess, honestly.
Yeah, I have a question. So what was going on? So now we're, at the point where the price of Hex is pretty low. But he had been building this for a long time, building it up from the ground basically for a long time before it ran a ton. What was going on in 2020? Was it like kind of similar to what's going on now? Or, do you know much about it? Like
I,
what came before the pump?
I never was a person that bought into Hex. I knew about Richard Hart, while Hex is around, but I just kind of followed him on YouTube because my brother actually bought into Hex. But Mello, maybe you used to hold Hex, right?
Yeah, I got some stakes. So I treat me personally, to be honest. I didn't get into Hex day one, but this is coming from someone that got into Hex after the big payday, and I was just exiting a real CD from the bank, and I was like, let me try it out. My homie was day one, and he's not really a community engagement guy. He's just does his little crypto thing, and that's it. And he was like, "Yo, check this out. I've been in it." Da, da, da. I was like, "Okay." Richard Hart threw me off like everybody did, and I didn't care really too much. But I like money, so I was like, "Yo, let me invest." So I put my money in. I took it out from this bank, put it into this, did the same amount a year, just a year. The next year, and then it was the sac price, sac rate came for Pulsechain, and then sac came for Pulsex. I kind of consolidated everything for this chain because I remember how ETH ICO did, and I was like, you know what, I'm not missing this opportunity, so let me go ahead, go big, go home. I didn't go too big, but I did my thing. And the whole time I was learning in the Telegram and trying to figure out like what is Postchain solution to the blockchain, and I figured out like, okay, this is great. This is great avenue for like especially new developers to come and actually build and host things over here. It's just another database, right? And Hex, I that year ended. I got my Hex. It was perfect. I was like, yo, I got way more than the bank, and I understood. It's literally you working, or you're gaining the yield that the banks would make off of your money that's sitting in their bank, and to be honest, it's like, dude, this is the best way to let your money work for it, for itself. And I was just like, you know what, this is perfect. So I did a couple stakes. I think the ladder that they talked about. I did a couple ladders. I didn't go 2 15 years because I don't know what the years is going to hold me. But that's just how I treat Hex. Hex is really more like a bank program. Like same thing I would treat a bank CD is how I'm treating Hex. And I take it, do my rewards, and stake my initial. So it's just perfect to let your money make money, and as long as your initials there by the end of the year, you're good.
Yeah, I'm reading I'm looking at the sentiment on CoinMarketCap and TradingView, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing some pretty bearish shit. I'm seeing some good stuff too. I mean, also these are literally just the front pages. So
Coin market cap, you mean?
TradingView, CoinMarketCap, I'm looking at both of them. Seeing some people saying now that Sam Bankman-Fried is out of the picture, they're coming for Richard Hart. I'm seeing some people say bullish 100x. So what do you know?
No, this is the best thing that could ever happen to Pulsechain and Hex is the SEC coming after Richard Hart, honestly, in my mind. Free marketing. My parents asked me who Richard Hart was, and when that happens, I'm like, shit, no, this is fucking amazing.
Dude, when it does, like if it gets settled, and or it just gets just like dismissed, or it's not a security, that news is like gonna be just perfect news, like for the whole chain, for just in crypto in general.
It's not going to be just that news. It's going to be like Richard Hart destroys the SEC. That's going to be the headline.
Yeah, they even blackballed him on the diamond. When he bought the diamond on like all the blogs, they didn't say who bought it. A cryptocurrency investor bought the largest diamond. Like what? Or
Yo,
image?
so should I buy, let's say I want to get into Hex, should I buy PLS or Hex? I'm confused.
So
So
those are just two
PLS is the
different
native.
cryptocurrencies. Yeah. So PLS is going to be your native gas token, right? So that's going to be like ETH on Pulsechain. You need that for gas. Hex is just going to be just a project on Pulsechain that gives you an APR.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, ETH obviously was the most sought after coin on Ethereum. We're all guessing. I'm imagining we all assume that Pulse Chain will be the most sought after coin on Pulse.
Oh, dude, by the way, Post burns every transaction. Like, it's burning. It's deflationary. It's not going to be any created ever again. Every transaction gets percentage of it gets burnt. So that's a big thing, especially with all the volume that's going on. And then another tokenomics with the Pulse X is that it does a buyback and burn with Pulse X, and that Pulse X is our DEX token. So when you asked what that is,
Ah, okay, I see. Richard only communicates in person. He doesn't use Twitter, Telegram, social media, email, messages, YouTube, newspapers, magazines, mail, TV, or radio. Humble.
that's cap.
What an absolute baller.
That's so cap. Where are you reading this on TradingView?
It's not. It's right on his Twitter page.
It's his Twitter bio.
No, that is funny. Honestly, there's a bunch of great projects. I mean, we can go on and on about them. Honestly,